that water, but in many cases it simply cannot. And then, police officers, firefighters, first responders, and others would have to come and do the rescue. So, those are things that are avoidable. Unless you just have to be out there, especially between now and in the morning. Don't get out there, especially in the southern part of Houston, Harris County, and Southwest Houston. If you don't have to be on the road, please don't help us out and just stay at home and be safe.
Great words of advice. Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner live via Zoom from Harris County Office of Emergency Management. Thank you for being with us tonight.
Be safe, okay?
Thank you.
You too. Thank you, sir. Let's go live now to our Jacob Rascone. Jacob is not far from that area where Keith is in the southwest part of town. Jacob, what are you seeing? Oh, look at that. Just a lot of water there behind you.
Yeah, you guys, last time we talked, we were driving on our way to high water spot, and this is it. So this stretches for a long time. We've seen at least a couple of tow trucks with sedans on the back already leaving. You can see one stalled there. I've counted at least a few more. And I mean, this goes on for a couple of blocks here. Thankfully, we're at the point where they've already put up now some roadblocks, as you can see here, so that people don't drive in here. I mean, this is deep enough that not just a sedan, but an SUV would get stuck. Even the big trucks are going around. And we came from Matagorda County, where they're worried about a different kind of flooding there. They have flooding in the neighborhoods from the storm surge. But here, this is what we find. Thankfully, on our way here, we didn't actually see a lot of flooding on most of the streets. But then every once in a while, as we'll show you again, you get spots like this that stretch for blocks. And then several blocks away is where Keith was. And so you just hope that you're not the first one that's there and you think that it's shallow and you go in. Thankfully, as we said, they've got the roadblocks up here. At least 3 or 4 cars that were stalled out. Tow trucks coming and going now, just taking those cars away. What a bad night for all of those people who knows, didn't see it, maybe saw it, didn't think it was so deep. This is the worst case scenario for them, and it happened. And we just hope it doesn't happen to more people. Chris and Dominique, back to you.
Okay, Jacob, thank you very much.
That's right. Let's go back now to Keith Garvin. Keith, as we toss to you, we now know, according to Mayor Turner, that it's Keegan's Bayou is back behind where you are. And because that water has spilled out of its banks, it's now in the roadway there behind you.
Yes, yeah, we knew that was Keegan's Bayou. We actually drove across Keegan's Bayou to make it to the location we're at. And right as we passed it, that's where that car dealership that I mentioned to you earlier is at, and another shopping center. Cars are submerged. But again, we're here at the 10,400 block of West Belfort, right at the Southwest Freeway. And, we're getting that rain in waves. Sometimes it picks up really heavy. Sometimes it goes away altogether, kicks back up a little bit. But the rain right here is not the story. Take a look. The flooding is the story, where this entire intersection and the parking lots of a couple of shopping centers are submerged. And you see several vehicles that are here in the middle of the road that have been submerged for quite some time. And you all saw this when you were talking to Mayor Turner, kind of a weird, bizarre scene. There were about 3 young ladies. They look to be about, teenagers. I have 4 daughters, so I'm fairly decent at telling ages. They look to be teenagers, and they kind of just, I thought that first silver vehicle with the flashing lights, they walked up to that vehicle and opened the door, and I was thinking, okay, maybe they're the owner. One of them is the owner of the vehicle, and they opened it and looked like they retrieved something, and then they started walking down the road through the middle of the water, and then they made it to another vehicle just down the road, and they opened that door. So don't know exactly what's going on there. They have walked all the way down the street in that water, and they are now gone. But it just doesn't make any sense to, the mayor was even mentioning, doesn't make any sense to walk or drive down any roads when they are submerged like this. And Adrian, if we want to pan back over here, and you see to our right, you see the people there at the check cashier's place. So another couple of individuals who are out here, they look to be possibly workers, or maybe they were the ones who were working in that food truck right there. When we first got here, the food truck was partially submerged in the water. They were able to pull it up a little bit and get it out of the water, and those folks have sought shelter I don't know if they've been actually inside the truck or if they've been inside one of those businesses, but it appears that they are out here trying to survey the damage. But we still, every now and then, have other vehicles who have, they come down this feeder road on the Southwest Freeway, and it looks like they want to turn, and they realize they see the water and realize that that is not the wisest thing to do. And so sometimes they get, a little bit down the road and have to do a U-turn or back up altogether. But, this is a very flood-prone area. We've, again, as we've mentioned, have been here many times over the years when there is flooding. And as you can see, the traffic signs and some of the traffic barrels, this is an area, this is a road where they were doing some construction. Not exactly how long they've been doing that construction, don't know how long it's been, but oftentimes that type of construction can contribute to flooding. And obviously, Houston continues to have issues with flooding in some areas more than others. But right now, as that moisture trains from the Gulf onto the shore here, onto the land, we get these waves of heavy rain. Then it lightens up a little bit. At this point, pretty much we are getting some sprinkles, but doesn't feel to be too bad. So right now, we're kind of experiencing one of those light periods of rain. But this area is still kind of busy. If you see Adrian, shoot down there, there's a Dairy Queen, where the Dairy Queen is, and there's a truck. There is a truck that just drove down this roadway from the other direction, and it's a high-profile vehicle. He just put some of his other lights on, and he drove by us a little earlier, and he has pretty high wheels, and so obviously he's going to feel pretty confident. Don't know exactly what he is doing, but he's kind of driving around and surveying things down the road down here on West Belfort, and just kind of surveying the area. But you can see just in front of him is another vehicle with its lights on that has been submerged and stuck there since the time we got here. And we now have probably been here for about 55 minutes or an hour. And that car has its lights on, not its hazards, but the lights are on, but pretty sure there isn't anyone inside because there hasn't been any activity other than the young ladies when they walked up to that vehicle and peered inside and opened the door. So I don't think there were any individuals inside that vehicle. But a couple of vehicles here stranded, submerged in the middle of West Belfort right here at Southwest Freeway. And we continue to see traffic in the area. I mean, it is Houston, fourth, maybe third largest city. We'll find out in a couple of weeks or months in the entire country. So, of course, even at 10:45, 11 o'clock at night, there's going to be a certain level of traffic. But you would think that with the bad weather and the flooding, that this area, maybe the traffic would have died down a little bit. But we still see people continuing to come by this intersection. And as I said, every now and then, testing this intersection and sometimes thinking they're going to be able to make their way down this road, they haven't been able to do it. So that's the situation here. Again, we knew this area was going to flood, and sure enough, as it does almost every single year, every time we have a major flood, major rain event, this area does see a lot of flooding. Hopefully people stay home, and hopefully people, when they turn, hey, Adrian, here we go. We got a car right here coming, trying to make its way. It looks like it's a small SUV driving at a high rate of speed. Maybe they think that if the faster they drive, the quicker they'll get through. They are making their way through. Let's see how this goes. They're still moving. Don't know how much engine power they actually have right now. Engine may, and now they're slowing down quite a bit. And folks, this is not what anyone needs to do. It looks like they stalled. Looks like he stalled. Yeah, they're floating now. Yeah, they're floating. Yeah, their engine is stalled. They came around the corner off this feeder road. And came down the road and, going at a pretty decent rate of speed. And maybe they thought if they drove fast enough, they could get through it. But that's the result. That is what can likely happen if you're going to try to test these roads with this amount of water. That car was moving just fine, but as soon as it got into the thick of it,
I can't believe
it is now stalled. And there is an individual in there, maybe more than one individual who was in that vehicle. And now they're going to have to wade their way out or possibly get rescued.
Look, we saw some high-profile vehicles try to make it through that water. This one came around the corner. It's the size of a roller skate, trying to barrel through the water, maybe trying to get, thinking that, hey, if I got enough speed, I'm going to make it through there. And then he just started to float.
And it's incredible because you can clearly see around you. I mean, look, just to the left of that car, you see a car that's stuck. Right where Keith is, you can see vehicles that are stuck. So, I mean, you're aware that there are vehicles in a perilous situation there, and now we just saw this person drive right into it.
We're going to stay with this.
Car.
Yeah, we were going to stay with this shot, Keith, because we want to see if this driver, if this motorist is going to get out and ask for help, or get out and scratch his head.
I see some movement.
Right.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, on the driver's side. On the driver's side, I see a little bit of movement, but as you mentioned, right to the left of the vehicle is a truck, which is a lot bigger than this.
Right.
This looks to be, an SUV or a small SUV, and so it's
Here we go.
not a
Here's
super
the door.
Now they're getting out. And,
I wonder if you can flag him over.
Baseball hat. We'll try it. Yeah,
are you wireless, or are you connected
he's trying to throw on his hazards? I am, but it's pretty thick. The water's pretty deep where I am, so I'm gonna see if he can come to us. I don't know what it looks like on TV, but we're not super close to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're probably a good 40 yards or so, and if
you don't want to go wading through that.
Have trouble making it through the water. I don't want to try to make it through the water myself. But he's okay. Yeah, he's at the driver's door. We can. Let's see if we can make it through this.
He's probably using the flashlight.
It just doesn't look good.
On the phone, if the phone is still dry.
Yeah, Adrian, do you want to try to? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna try. Let's see what direction he's going. We're gonna try to make our way. Goodness.
Yeah, be careful, Keith. I mean, it's not. I mean, if you can yell at him and see if he's willing to chat, or simply ask if he needs help.
I bet he's headed to that center to the left. Yeah, he's headed to that parking lot in that strip center.
Yeah, he's going into that parking lot. Adrian, you want to get off the sticks, and we'll try to make our way over here and see if he could be too embarrassed to talk to us. We'll see.
Right.
Yeah.
Or he may not be in the best mood to talk to us because he just lost.
We'll let you vet him before we go.
So,
Hey, as you make your way over there, Keith, I do wonder, can you tell, is the water in that area, is it still rising? Do you feel like it's staying at the same level, or maybe even going down a little bit? Can you even tell?
It doesn't look like it's rising anymore. And as a matter of fact, if you remember that food truck I showed you, they were able to drive out of the water a little bit. But I also think they're safe now because the water receded a little bit on that side. So we're walking through. This is a bank parking lot.
Right. That's that SUV that you said parked there.
Find the individual. If you can see there, that car, that's where the individual came out of, that small SUV. And you see the parking lot here at this bank in the shopping center. And we're going to come around the corner. And I think our man is gone, or he made it inside somewhere. And so, what, you see him? Possibly on the sidewalk. Okay, I think we can make it across the parking lot right here. Go on this journey with us. We thank you all for checking in and following us. Here we are in this one
are any stores open
shopping center. There's an individual outside a smoke shop. Sir, do you own this? Are you a worker? Are you an employee? No, I don't work. You don't work here at all? No, I just been for the store. Okay, gotcha. Okay, you were inside as a customer? No, just hanging out.
Are one of those his
let's
car?
talk to him real quick.
Maybe one of those.
When did you see things were getting bad when you were over here?
8:30.
Hope you guys can hear me. About 8:30?
8:30 started getting bad.
Let's move my microphone so you guys can hear him a little better. What's your name, by the way, sir?
Ruby?
Ruby? Okay, and so you said about 8:30 is when you noticed things started getting bad around here.
Getting bad, very, very, very bad. Now the cars are coming in, they're coming inside. I'm just waiting till they get a little better so I can get out.
Now, did you see any of these vehicles get stuck?
One of them I just see, the guy was just coming and just put it in.
Yeah, that one we saw as well.
Yeah.
Now, when you saw him barreling down the street when he made that turn and then he got stuck, what was going through your mind? Did you think he was going to make it?
No, 100% not, because a lot of water.
A lot of water.
Cannot make it.
Do you frequent this area? Do you know this area pretty well?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So you know it's pretty flood prone for the
Yes,
most part.
all the time, all the time. Whenever the water's, whenever the rains, it gets flooded all the time. All the time, nonstop.
Hey, your vehicle right now is it's here